ball sometimes. But as it stands, they're doing a good fight against those teams, and yeah, we'll see how they try to contend. As it looks like gamers want to play, and it looks like they're keen to get going. So let's see how this first round of Granary is going to go for the night. How both teams are going to approach this. I feel like this first mid could very well set the stage for the rest of the evening.
Oh, yes.
Depend on how that goes. Oh, Yak almost getting an early pick there onto Eloquor. Eloquor just barely making it to the pack, but he's gonna survive, and now the mid is gonna be underway. Scar going for a high bomb immediately. There's the counter out of KN to just like kind of fake out a little bit. Scar's gonna be the first casualty, but there's frags falling on the other side. Poi crucially going down means no heals for Venomcrest here. They're gonna have to somehow collapse off Patchouli, but he's already so far out. He's got some players in front of him. Elocor's gonna get picked off, but Amarok manages to trade out both actually, no, Scout and Turum, never mind. Yeah, everybody else was already dead. It's only Yak alive, and I mean, he could do it, but he's gonna have to get through Amarok first, and that's
he gets
okay.
it.
It's possible. Can he get through Patchouli? I mean,
No,
he's just gonna
Patchouli's too
chase
far
him
away.
at this point. Yeah, no.
He doesn't have to jump, and Patchouli's just too far out at this point. There's no chance, unfortunately. As much as it hurts to admit that, you kind of have to let it go. I mean, it paid out in the end. Patchouli just dodged out a mid early. They got the kill on the Poi pretty early on, after the second kill, I think, and suddenly it's just a bit of a mess right now. There's still this fighting chance for VNC to fight back here. They don't want to give this up, but they know it's upcoming for them as well here. Patchouli has, and they can't get caught in the crossfire there, but at some point you also have to make them use. They're looking for some bombs. They can't quite find them.
Yeah, they try to commit a little bit. Nuthouse, aka High, manages to sneak in there, gets a kill onto Slash, trades that out. Eloquor gets picked up by Tyrum as well. So they're finding frags, they're finding trades, but it's not enough to get Patchouli to use that Uber. He's not gonna do it. He's very much content with just waiting, making sure that that ad stays alive, and now they're gonna try to, well, equalize it, but, you know, use it into Yard here. VNC, aware that that advantage has faded away, are gonna be quite aggressive with their hold here as well. Nevo being a bit aggressive, but he's gonna immediately back off as well. So yeah, it looks like we're getting into a tiny little bit of a stalemate here.
Yeah, it's like you said though, right? Of course, VNC didn't ban this map, but we've seen 2038 on this last week. It was a change team completely from that one. On map 1, they struggled a lot more. By map 2's time, they were completely ready to roll over the Swedes. So, as much as that was a close game in the grand scheme of things, maybe this map still favors them quite a bit here. For now, having to start off a slow map, hurts a little bit, bombs come through, getting close, but ultimately, to no much of any success. VNC is still holding on just fine. Do they have any other counter reactions? These bombs are not easy to do, but you know what a medic is, you know what to do. So there's nobody around the bush right now.
Are you gonna do it though? KN trying to get through Choke, just gets picked off by the stickies though. Eloquor is gonna make short work of that, and just like that, no counterplay for them, no counter sack. It's actually gonna be on the Frenchie side again to try and maybe make something happen. They got everybody alive, they're getting their soldiers buffed up, everybody kind of moving forward, and Garrett here trying to make some space perhaps. Seeing if they can get a distraction. Slash is ready and primed on Choke as well together with Amarok. Seeing if they can get through here. He's going for the high bomb. Is he gonna get onto the crucial medic with Poi? Already eating so much damage before Slash even lands on him. Is gonna have to use or risk dropping. So good enough. You got the force out of the med. Now you can try to re-aggress. Obviously you got VNC trying to salvage something. Just maybe get some cheeky pick, but they're just gonna have to back out again. There's nothing they can really do at this point. Just try and hold as best they can. Get an early pop out of Patchouli and hope for the best.
Yeah, we have now successfully entered the French dimension, and I don't think there's any getting out of here anymore, any easy way at least. I'm gonna have to give up second and just give up more and more ground. Patchouli with full Uber is not something you really want to go up against if you can't save anyone's life, so falling back it is, going back inside. Slow progress here. Drive has a conscious one, but what's that really gonna do right now when they're invincible?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, going to allow you to run away a little bit quicker and perhaps get a stray pot shot to keep yourself alive on somebody who's not Ubered, but yeah, they're just using it to escape, get out with that little speed boost, maybe try to use the tail end of it to get into this fight again, but nah, they're not even going to have it by the time the point is capped off, and the Frenchies are already all over this point as well. Scar drops down, but Slash is still above. He manages to drop that onto the medic, gets the force. Maybe it was Poi just wanting to save his team as well, getting that out early, and well, they find a couple of frags, a couple of extended players, all soldiers, and Nevo down here. The rest of the team backed out to mid, so successful for now, but they did have to use their Uber for it, so it's not necessarily as free as they might have wanted it to be.
Alright, how much momentum can they keep up from here though? Because player ads slowly disappearing, you're getting to mid, but you gotta be aware that it really has any second now. And no shot, they're not gonna re-push with this one immediately as well. You gotta be prepared for that. Getting a lot of cap time here. That can oftentimes be a bit of trapping to just try to desperately cap up this point when you know the opponent's coming already, but We'll see how it works out. Get the cap one out. Pop is still coming through here, trying to catch anything they can. Get high early. Lots of damage onto Yak as well. They really want that demo kill, but the arrows keeping the demo man alive works out just fine. And Patchouli caught off guard for that, just couldn't leave in return. That's the medic going down when they thought they had a clean chance to get the same kill themselves.
Yeah, well, they couldn't quite, and now there is VNC with the counter Uber coming into mid. It popped a little early just to try and get through. They lose a couple players as well. Junior going down term already down beforehand, obviously, but it's still a lot better for them. They got to deal with these couple of remaining players. Amarok running out, maybe. No, he's just peppering on the high ground, being a bit of a nuisance. Slashes in behind term. He's going to take care of that, though, so now Amarok is in. Just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Finally gets cleaned up as well, so... In the end, VNC come out on top here. It's a bit messy, it's a bit of a roundabout. There goes Yak, just gets picked off by a beautiful little sticky trap. Alright. Well, somebody's got to brave the choke. I guess it was Yak this time, and it's not going to slow them down too much. They've still got a couple of players up here. Yeah, they're going to take yard at least.
Oh, I mean, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Still going in the right direction at least. One way or another, getting them places here. Still have advantages there as well, and that's really the key factor right now, right? This is going to be able to just be threatening into second in some way, shape, or form. Probably just very directly trying to get in here, I would imagine. I mean, we already see Ammo Engineer on last, so they're more than content to fall back if they have to. Just going to see that, preferably, they do use it as well.
Yeah, obviously. If you're the Frenchies here, you want to make sure VNC don't get in for free. Maybe even just go for an exchange on second. Certainly VNC being careful with it. They're trying to maybe get in through Lunchbox now. They managed to find a kill onto Slash. That could be enough for 2038 to back off a little bit, but they're going to have their Uber now, and KN can't quite sneak his way in. He's just going to sit above, spam some rockets down.
As well.
Oh, Eloquist extended. That's bad. That's really bad for 2038 here. They have to use as well. Nevo's going to try his damnedest to just solo this, but he can't find anybody. Finally, the Uber comes out just to save Yak, but it's so much better for VNC. They're already on last. Second is capped off as well. The Sentry is taken care of. There's a heavy, but it's only 3 players. Scar is very low as well. This should be an easy conversion. How are they not capping?
This man was 2v1ing both KN and Tram up top in lobby, and he still falls back and just kills everyone on point. They kept 4 people are not enough to stop him, and he gets another air shot as well. This is not okay. We need to investigate him.
Somebody check him PC. This is unbelievable. Scar making the difference there, Jesus. Yeah, that's gonna be a quick turnaround. 1 player going off like that, that's gonna turn it around for you. 2038. A miracle hold, honestly. They had no business in holding that.
Okay,
Scar's finally gonna get taken down.
Scar.
Yeah, they got the carry. The carry's taken out of the equation. Now it's gonna see maybe high. Okay, he gets in. Gets a kill onto Elacor. Gets another one onto Amarok. Alright. The scouts are going off a little bit. There's Jono to back him up. Oh my god, how is he alive still? Slash is so low on high ground, gets an arrow. Yeah, they're just gonna keep on. I mean, they still have second. They don't have to worry about that. There's another air jump by Scar, but is it gonna be enough? No, not this time. It's only Patchouli. Elacor just spawned. Finally. Second time's the charm. They get the last point.
This is not a game. This is just a discussion about who is the better player at this point. Unfortunately for Scar, try as he might, I think someone else is winning that discussion right now.
My man's got the broadest shoulders in the world, but it's still not enough to carry against an entire team that also seems to be having pretty wide, not quite as wide, but pretty wide shoulders. And as it stands, that's going to be the first round going for Venomcrest here. Let's see how the second mid goes underway immediately. Frenchie's very fast Slash, actually. Very fast roll out there. Doesn't quite get onto Yak, though. He's going to have to back off, and we're going to be looking at a bit more of a normal mid here. KN going high, getting peppered by the scouts. Just decides to get them off their high ground for a little bit. Nevo's going to be the first kill. And there's the counter bomb by the Frenchies. They find, well, nothing really. They find the soldiers, I guess, but that's about it. They've traded out soldiers. Nevo on the other side. Slash gets taken down by High, and it looks like a 1 mid for VNC, just like that.
We'll just about do it here, just barely controlling space a tiny bit better. Able to keep themselves afloat on the mid fight, and I mean, it's not really a momentum swing, but at least you can rest easy knowing that they don't have much to go with back into mid quickly like we've seen last round. Just this big back and forth on the midpoint, that's not really going to happen just yet. Gotta get into second as well, that's really the problem now. And you're gonna wonder what the plan is for them here. At least, no immediate hurry on them here on this one even, right? I mean, if they were down or something like that, there'd be a lot more pressure. There's still time pressure on them, of course. Shorter round time must do that to a team, but they can think about it at least a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, being up 1 round isn't the biggest, you know, padding you have. So certainly VNC. So yeah, VNC, you wanna definitely like try to keep this moving forward, but well, we'll have to see if they try to bust this or if they're just gonna wait for the Frenchies to make a move, maybe mess up. It is their favorite map. But it looks like VNC also did their homework, at least from what we've seen so far on Granary. Very, very much a crowd favorite with both of these teams right now. But yeah, I mean, if you're 2048 here, you don't want to risk pushing out. You're perfectly content with going for a round reset. Worst case, it's just another mid-fight, but you don't have to worry about Uber exchanges or anything like that. You can try to reapproach it again from a different angle. And Venomcrest, they're gonna have to start doing something. They've just been like sitting in garage for the past 30 seconds now, maybe a minute at this point actually. Just staring each other down, like shooting some spam through some doors, but accomplishing nothing, not trying to make any ground, at least when it was on the other side. You know, you saw 2038 send in the bombs, you know, Slash going in multiple times, and actually mentioned get the force out as well. Nothing like that coming out of Venomcrest right now whatsoever. They're just sitting back, just waiting. Very, very
surprising as well with how the Frenchies played last week, right? They were so aggressive the entire time, but there's none of that here right now. Not too much anyway. I mean, I guess once fight started, they are happy to keep them going, but certainly I'm all the wiser for it in the stalemates at the moment than they were last week, and I'm curious to see what it takes for him right now. Try with the switch to Conch again as well at some point here. Only has half of the damage build right now, so hit like 200 in long the way in the stalemate so far. That's a far cry from Madden right now.
Well, it might eventually, depending on how much more spam he can get going, but yeah, they're just really taking their time. VNC being very methodical, very slow with this. I wonder if it's some sort of big brain strategy Yak has cooked up for his team here, if this is exactly what they're hoping for. They were scrimming this for all week. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna try this conch strat on Granary here, and we'll see how well it works. And, well, I mean, they're not losing right now, so I guess it's going okay for them, but I mean, I'm also surprised the Frenchies, yeah, not being as aggressive at all. They're being very careful right now, not even trying to really send in a sack or anything like that. Obviously, if it goes wrong for them, it could go very wrong, but it's not the same French team we saw last week for sure.
Yeah, it's a whole different story right now. It's weird to see them like pivot playstyles so much from week to week as well. Maybe that doesn't help them at all, I feel like, as well. Just always having like a different main idea at play, but alright, again, hey, it's 2 minutes left to go, and going back to mid would arguably help them more than their opponent, so as boring as it might be, it's worthwhile to play. Oh no, they're trying to bust through flank and use Yak immediately. He can be fast as you want, the Anarchist still racks it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, they got the conch out, they're gonna finally use the Uber as well. It's gonna be a slight bit better for the French team, but they're still finding frags on the side VNC anyway. Term just slips through, gets behind, gets the other soldier, and now in the post-Uber fight, it's a way better position for VNC. They find another frag onto Elacor here. Amarok is gonna get caught as well as Poi. It's only Slash left. And he spawned. Oh wait, what the? How did nobody go back for that?
Rolls back to second. Oh, he almost gets the medic too. This is just falling apart. It is falling apart. Scar walks in. Even my dog's upset at it.
Unbelievable. Even the dog is excited for this play. How did they let that happen? Why did nobody go back for the back cap at all? Never just gets that.
They did. Someone went back. I think sort of spawned in and a Devilman went back or something like that. Like 2 people were there, but he just killed one of them. And the Devilman's too slow. And by that point, they're completely scattered all over the place and just can't react to what's happening in front of them, which is just the soldier just waddling at them in lobby, getting the medic as well. What a mess.
What a fumble.
Fair to say, we're now back in the French dimension. It's starting to happen again.
The Frenchies are in control. They might not look like it, but
that's the worst part about it. They capped mid, they couldn't keep it.
Yeah, that's the worst part. But I guess they are kind of like in control. It's all like 5 steps ahead of time, right? They're looking at the chess computer. They're calculating a line 20 moves deep, and this was just move 1. They're waiting for the next opportunity, and I mean, maybe the Crits Creek is gonna be that opportunity. Pachuli's gonna use those, perhaps sooner rather than later, because you know, even if Poi gets that Uber, as long as they're unaware of this, the crits here, this could certainly be something that they can use to catch him off guard here. They know everybody's bunched up in that garage. Elacor's in position already. They want to get those crit stickies in. Everybody's bunched up. He's charged up. Is he going to get that sticky onto something? Nope. Poi reacts, sees the stickies glowing. They're just going to use that Uber in and see what they can do with it. Elacor manages to catch a Turum, I guess, but gets traded out on the other side. Now that the Ubers have faded, well, it's going to be a bit of a scramble here, but health is a lot better for VNC, at least for a little bit there, and they're playing a lot more together as well right now. Amarok trying to push it, just gets cleaned up there on the point now, getting flanked from all sides, but they're just cleaning up all the damage. Scar gets taken down. Slash finds 1 kill onto KN, gets cleaned up. There's Nevo, and Patrulli just trying to make their way out as the last cap is already underway. Elacor just gets denied from spawn. Nevo's there to save it at least a little bit, but he's all alone. And there's the second round for Venomcrest.
That was nice stuff by VNC as well. It was like a very awkward rotation they got forced upon, but they just settled it real quickly. Wait a second, they're all the way having like so many people on the flank. We just rush point. We make them have to push into second, which is just a much worse position to be in for the Frenchies there. They just happened to put themselves in a really, really bad spot there after all both Ubers were out of the equation, and VNC just took the space on point as quickly as they could to make the pushback in really difficult, and there you go. They just reversed it completely on them, get themselves up ahead 2 points now.
Venomcrest looking in control right now. Let's see if they can keep that up, though. And this next mid-fight, Poi taking a lot of damage already, but just barely inching by, staying alive for now. And yeah, as far as the frags are concerned, it's certainly still anybody's game. They're down another player on the side of VNC. There goes Patchouli, though. No heals for the French team. This is good. Just unleash it. Never mind. Slash finds his kill onto Ploy. He gets another nice little shot there onto High as well. Just like that, you turn the fight around. Turum is still in, but he's certainly going to have to fight 2 people. And
nice one.
Yeah, Slash
See,
is just...
if it wasn't for Slash hitting those air shots, I don't know if I would question if he got really lucky with the medic or that was completely on purpose. Because the first rocket on Poi was so bad, it just didn't allow Poi to serve anywhere. And the second one was right on target. And watching him hit these as purposefully as he can, that has to be on purpose. There's no chance for the medic to serve anything.
My man was playing like 6 hours of ammo mod before this. There's like there's something going on. He's hitting like every direct rocket right now. He's having the game of his lifetime, and yet somehow Frenchies are kind of struggling at least a little bit. They're trying to find a way in here, but Yak just cleans them all up. I mean, they find a couple of kills on the other side. They find Yak, they find KN, but is it going to be enough to slow down this Venomcrest train moving forward? I mean, they're certainly trying. They're certainly trying to get Yunu as well. High is in behind, just being a bit of a nuisance here. Maybe he's going to get the kill to Slash, a high priority target at this point. They do find that kill. Are they going to be able to chase anything else? Nah, Alakor and Patchouli are out. The rest of the team are there to back him up, but they get mid at the end of it. And, well, actually, do they? Frenchies are already re-aggressing. They managed to at least cap it off, but they're going to be able to, or they're going to have to use him much rather. So they're going to be a bit better for 2038, just ever so slightly. It's going to be the post-Uber, but that's going to be so good for the Frenchies. They have way better positioning already. Yak's trying to make his way, and they find the kill onto Amarok, but Natha's already dead on the other side. It's still anybody's game. Venomcrest trying to find their way back into this. They find a kill onto Nevo as well. Suddenly, tides have turned a little bit here. There's the French soldiers maybe trying to make something happen, turn the tides a little bit as Alakor... Yeah, Alakor's trying to fight Yak and losing, and he might just get flanked any second now. He gets the kill, actually. Anyway. How does he get that? How does he get that kill, man?
This is just...
I don't get it.
A game and a half. Okay, see, it was slow for a second there, though. The Frenchies are warming up again. Oh no.
They have like lapses of like where they all suck for a second, and then suddenly they're back. It's all calculated in the future. Again, this is just move 3 of the 20 that they calculated.
Oh
they
boy.
give up 2 rounds, give them some false hope, some false, satisfaction here. You're gonna find your way back in. Ubers are gonna be roughly equal by the time.
It's weird to say, because like these fights are such a mess, and it's such a struggle for both teams to keep it up. And the Frenchies are kind of doing what they want to do, conceptually at least. But VNC is still coming on top, even just barely, right? This is just inching them across the map, maybe. But each and every messy fight that's happening, they're getting a positive end result out of it, as small as it might be. And in this case, it's really good here. Scar Drum trade out early. That one's not so good, I guess. But can they really do anything with that on the other side? I mean, they shouldn't, but with how it's been going, they might anyway.
Worst case, it's just another stalemate. Now you're probably a lot more comfortable just ticking down the time on the side of Venomcrest. It's only 12 minutes left. Like, this has been kind of like a fast but also slow match. We've only had 2 rounds, but it has already been almost 2/3 of the map done. And, well, if you're Venomcrest, you're certainly confident when slowing the pace down maybe a little bit. They're gonna be a bit aggressive here on second, trying to get themselves some more padding, perhaps, if they want to close out this round as well. They're keen maybe to get that trade underway, just get somebody in there, get some nice damage onto Patchouli, someone get a force, who knows. But yeah, Frenchies are locking down everything. They're not letting anybody in.
Switch back with VNC to Ram back on the Contra as well. Papi said no more battalions fall of nerds, but not stopping them from using some banners at least, as much as they are allowed to. It mattered a little bit, I guess, when they ran away with it, but that was such a marginal difference. I feel like that it's hard to really call that a big play by the sake of the conch being there, I guess. So I really want to see like a big impact play with the conch at some point. I wonder if they have one of those ready for us. But now they don't have the conch, so it's not going to matter for a little while longer.
It's like when it comes to conch strategy as well. Oh, okay, he gets a kill onto Amarok, that's nice. When it comes to conch strategy, there's a lot you can just do with it passively as well. You can use it during the Uber, get that speed boost. That it doesn't even matter. They just kill everybody anyway. Yak jumps in, gets a nice little drop onto Patchouli as well. It's only Slash left alive, and he's gonna try to hold off second at least a little bit, buy a bit of time for his team for some respawners, but it's only Amarok. He can't do anything alone as a sniper. That's a 3rd round going the way of Venomcrest, and they're looking dominant right now. They're having a great game.
Surely it has only worked because the contra.
Surely that was the difference maker.
They just called focus and everything died immediately. There was no time to react to anything for Patchouli. The second one projectile hits, all of them hit. Oh no, Crispy things roll out a little bit as well. Maybe nerves are getting in there a little bit right now. They've been trying so hard this game, but it's still not quite doing it.
They thought they were the masters of Granary, and as it turns out, there's another master, and they're much more masterful at the end of the day. Well, we can't call that quite yet. There's still a third of the map left as the next mid is underway, and French soldiers are going deep trying to get something done. They trade out Poi for Slash, so that's a good start. You're just gonna have to try and keep your own medic alive, and Patchouli is certainly in a good position right now to stay alive, surrounded by both scouts, just trying to keep him safe. Everybody else from Venomcrest trying to aggress isn't really able to get in all that deep. Just being peppered away. Juno's gonna make a run for it. He's gonna get the crucial meat shots though. Patchouli eating a bit of damage, but manages to slip by. However, he's now left alone. And High is gonna have a word with that. Trying to get that kill finally cleaned up as Amarok gets cleaned up as well. They're basically just delaying this death as much as they can by now. I mean, yeah, okay.
Patchouli got decided,
yeah, he's like, wait a minute, I'm the only one left. I should probably kill Vine at this point.
I was so surprised as well, because, like, obviously, you want to keep your meta alive at the end, right? They were in a position where you obviously won't leave, but they went enemy garage to try to get out of there. I don't know why. I mean,
probably just panic. Just panic. You
they
trying
went
to get
like a
anywhere.
long way back into enemy territory to get out of there. Very strange to see. It's not paying off here either. I mean, it almost did. It was a close fight, I guess, but in the end, it feels like just a riskier choice. Maybe they were just really afraid someone was behind them already through their own choke, maybe? As it stands, though, it's not going to work out either way. They're falling back all the way to last with no Uber in hand right now, and VNC is just... I don't want to say the last laugh just yet, but I mean, if they just laugh for long enough, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I will say as well, this Finnish scout duo for VNC has been doing a lot, man. High and Juno, they've both been doing really solidly, cleaning up good damage, just winning battles that they have no business winning against, like, you know, an overhealed Amarok or an overhealed Nevo, just somehow still clutching that out anyway. They're doing really good on that note. So that could also just be a big difference maker right now. If they can't get those guys under control, they're gonna have a rough time. As it stands, they're gonna use that Uber in, try to send in Yak deep. All they're gonna get for now is the Sentry. Then they trade out Eloquor for Juno as well. So it's looking a little good for VNC here. I don't know, man. They're finding frags on either side. They've lost both of their scouts. Slash gets sent to the skybox, and Crater's on the point. But not before taking down Terram as well. And that's good enough to hang on to the point for the French team for now, and probably move into second as well. I mean, it's only Yak as long as you can avoid the stickies or avoid dealing with him, or just like rush him down as Nevo's trying to do. Gets the trade at least.
He's not avoiding the danger, he is the danger. Yeah, there's no getting off whatever there, not the other way around. I don't know how much that helps with now though. The Frenchies just gotta keep on going, right? Double kill arguably just kinda helps right now. That's just so much less threat on board. I like the double spam there as well, it's not gonna get anything, but what if, right? You gotta at least make them think about it here. But now, the Frenchies just can't stop it anymore. This just had to keep going and going and going, and they're waiting so long already before this play into mid happens.
Yeah, they're down 3 rounds, and they have to pick up, you know, 3 rounds in 7 minutes. That is a tough high order. It is certainly possible and absolutely doable, but you gotta keep moving, and they waited just long enough for Poi to get an Uber as well, so it's gonna be better here for Venomcrest. They find Eloquor early as well, as he gets dropped from the Uber. Patchouli just narrowly escaping for now, but he's gonna have more aggression on him. There's Terram in with a nice little cleanup on that, and the rest of the team just following up as well. I mean, they find the kill onto High, but he already did so much. Frenchies is just trying to wrap around now, maybe. Well. Yeah, seeing if they can somehow get a little bit of a pincer play here, you know, 2 players trying to get onto Poi. He's kind of caught in a little bit, but the wrap around by Slash could do something. He gets the kill onto KN, but clean up. Nah, it's not happening, man. They just gotta bide their time, wait for it again, and contend with the fact that they're now 50% down. And they just wasted a minute.
Like, that was such a doable pincer maneuver as well, but everyone had such bad health. Oh no, the trap, it's 2 trouble, Yak. Weren't patient enough. No one wanted to be the one checking the trap, so it's both of them finding out the hard way. That's a little bit more threat waiting to happen here. Nevo takes a bit of an early exit as well. That's fine. They get the scout forward anyway. Still very doable here. 6 minutes. Time is running out though. This has to be quick rounds from here. This one included, and there's still an Uber to true for as well.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to deal with it right now, as they're just gonna take that in with the scout as well. KN to follow up, doing a little bit of a firing support here. They find 1, they find 2. And that's going to slow down the Frenchies just enough to, well, make them have a hard time capping mid, as, you know, Eloquor is just caught, and the rest of the team is out. There goes Skark, taken care of as well. The rest of them are just the last 2 on last, trying to somehow hold this by themselves. I mean, Patchouli lived, I guess, but he didn't have anybody to heal for the longest time, and now they're going to have to try and hold this somehow with so much aggression already coming in from Venomcrest. They got the respawners, at least a few of them, but crucially, they just lost Patchouli. They have no heals. They're already losing the war of attrition. There's a couple more spawners. Are these reinforcements enough? Nah, man, they're not finding any damage onto Venomcrest at all. They can't get on the high ground. They can't do anything. That's 4-0, and that's probably just the final nail in the coffin right there.
If it isn't, I don't know what to say anymore. It should
TCM.
be by all means VNC having this one in the bag. I doubt we're gonna make TCM turn into VNC anytime soon. Anyway,
I doubt.
It would be very interesting to see, but I think they're just going to be running out of steam. At some point, you guys got to wonder as well how much energy they're willing to put into this map as well, when you could just put your minds towards the next map already.
Yeah, at this point, you kind of gotta, you know, cut your losses, accept that this is over, maybe pick up a round from morale if you can, but as it stands, this mid is already looking, it's actually looking okay for the French team. They managed to try a couple of crucial kills here, especially onto Yak. Taking that down. It's gonna be on the rest of the team. Yeah, no position at all. They can't really regress. Juno's just gonna run in and meat shot down Nevo. There goes Patchouli as well, taken out by Boy of all people. Oh man, dying as a medic, or getting a kill as a medic is one thing. Killing the enemy medic is a whole nother thing. That's just a pure medic difference right there. And yeah, French team just not looking good right now. This is, I don't know what happened the last week, man. Did somebody's grandma die? Like, I don't want to be like insensitive or anything, but they're not playing the same. They're not playing the same at all. They're looking very scattered. They're looking very disorganized, uncoordinated. It's certainly not the same French team we saw in Grinding last week. We have Slash Spy, maybe trying to salvage something, but he's already very, very far back.
I love the look-up drop-down POV we saw there as well, what was happening.
He's not even like anywhere. He's just walking out. there's nobody to backstep. They're all above him. He's just walking to like try and switch back to Soldier.
They never knew there was a Spy.
And well, it doesn't matter because his Spy didn't come into play anyway. The Uber comes in and well, they find a Scar and they find a Sentry Gun. Now in the post-war fight again, such good position for VNC though. They're all over the pipes, all over the high ground, just spamming down on these French players who are desperately just trying to stay alive, dodge all the damage of being dealt, but slowly but surely, one after another, taken down, and that's a 5-0 for Venomcrest.
Alright, well, they have to go up against, how many, 18? No, 15 French players in 3 weeks' time, and they're not getting away with not winning any of these maps, right? This is at least 6 points out of those 3 weeks already. 3 more to get. They can get away with this with 9 points total if they just keep up this performance. It's looking pretty good. Took a while to really get adjusted to how the first few minutes were just a slow game in general. By the time the Frenchies were fired up, they need a little bit of time to like really be prepared for that, because it is just this weird playstyle, of course. But they managed to hang on really nicely, like I said, right? Every time these like fights started, they kind of just came on top of them, even if just like a little bit, and inch by inch. As much as these fights took forever, they just worked their way across the map slowly but surely every single time. Come out on top, both on rounds and in the map in general. It's looking pretty good. VNC is ready for it.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, if we're going to look at logs as well, I'm already having a look, and my suspicion from earlier, my casual observation about the scouts on Venomcrest putting in a bit of work is not wrong. As it turns out, they're both doing pretty well. They're doing pretty good right now. But the entire team is, honestly, at this point, like it's just a massive diff across the board. Like,
oh
yeah,
no,
Slash,
the mental warfare has begun in the chat as well. The big shit talk is coming out right now.
Oh,
as well.
in the in-game chat.
Yes.
Oh.
The mental warfare has begun.
There's
no coming back anymore. This is just a spite match now. And that's a powerful motivator, I will say. Yeah, Yak really wants to win this one.
He's fed up. He's done with the French teams, man. He's had enough, okay?
Like, you can't shit talk people and lose, but it's much better when you win afterwards as well.
He just wants to get that over with, and I mean, yeah. As far as logs go, if you want to have a look, there's nothing special, you know? It's one team clearly just dominating the other right now.
I mean, yeah. Everyone always says, oh boy, Granary Soldier map. I mean, not if your scouts are good enough to just shred them, apparently.
Yeah, just frag out.
Takeaway.
All they do is frag, and that's all they need. At the end of the day. Anyway,
look at the heal. Actually, before you do that, look at the heal.
Oh yeah,
this is ridiculous. That is just a ridiculous difference. Oh my god. That's not okay. Particularly died, a little bit more, but not by that much.
Like the difference in Ubers as well. Like the Frenchies waiting so like they lost like I don't have the advanced stats, but how many advances did they lose? Like at least 2. Yeah, they lost at least 2.
Yeah, I mean both teams did, I guess, but context
Yeah, I feel
matters.
like
Which ones are more impactful, which ones were the ones leading into stammates anyway, you know?
Yeah, which ones were major and stuff like that. I feel like they held Ubers for so long a lot of times without, like, you know, doing anything with them. They just waited and waited, like, not the aggressive playstyle at all that they had last week, and it played right into Venomcrest's hands. You know, Venomcrest just built up their Uber, eventually decide, okay, let's just make a move for it, and then somehow win the fight. I guess, you know, French players just not hitting their shots right now or something like that. Who knows? Anyway, now I can do my segue. Sunshine. Different map.
Oh, I love segues.
We don't know who picked this one, but, you know, at this point, who cares, honestly? Because that was a dominant first map performance by Venomcrest, and if we see anything else on this map, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, the fact that the easy assumption was the Frenchies picked the previous map is kind of concerning going to Sunshine. Because this is the one pre-UNC probably wanted to see then as well, and I was ready for this as they were for the map to be reluctantly accepted in Granary. Then I don't know, it's going to be very strange for them here coming up now for the French side. It's not a good look at all.
I'm interested in seeing if 2048 can find their way back into this. Maybe everybody's just ultra tilted now. Maybe they're just all playing on ultra tilt. Maybe, I mean, this happened last week, right? They struggled a bit on the first map against Duplo, which is the one they lost, I think, right? So maybe they're just like a first map, second map team. Maybe they don't actually have any strong maps. They just play shit on the first map.
Maybe
and
they
then
just need 3 maps of warm-up, yeah.
Yeah, they dominate on the second map, right? Like, now they're angry, they're fired up, they got adrenaline pumping. Maybe now, somehow, it's going to be a completely different story, but if it isn't even remotely different, I don't know, man. I feel like we're going to be looking at more of the same.
That might just be a little bit what's going on here. There's been plenty of teams that just need some time to warm up as well. I feel like at various points throughout history, Team2Easy was a little bit of one of those. They just swamped up like steady across maps, but by the time we got into the second map, they just were not stopping them anymore. Maybe they're a little bit like that. Maybe not to the same caliber, of course, but they really have to hope that they can still get ready here. And after the mental warfare that's been started as well, you can worry as well if they can win these 2 fights going on now here as well.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, there's one thing of winning the battle, you gotta win the war. And winning the war in this case is the right to shit talk, but you've already kind of forfeited that if you're 2038, right? You've already lost a map, so you can't, like, decisively trash talk anymore. You can only be like, okay, yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on Granary, but we owned you guys on Sunshine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to see them somehow somehow come back from this, like somehow readjust.
I think that would be the funny outcome, yeah.
Take the break, you know, get the nerves back in check, maybe have a quick little pep talk or something like that. God knows what French insults are being thrown around in the mumble. I don't know, but they need it. They need it at this point, I feel, because Venomcrest are looking on fire. They're looking very clean. I mean, obviously they have some mistakes in their play. You know, the very first last push, they struggled a bit and stuff like that, but they bounced back very quickly, very well, and they've been solid. They've been really solid. This is a team, like, they're kind of punching above their own weight right now, I feel. As I said, maybe they're all playing up to their potential. This is the potential I alluded to. Who knows? Oh, man. I feel bad for anybody who voted for 2048 in Twitch chat. You might be forfeiting your points to the believers, but I guess we'll see.
No, you gotta believe in the French dimension. It's gonna just swallow Prem whole. You just wait. It's gotta happen.
I dread the season where we have more than half the Prem roster just be French. I feel like
been
it's
close
inevitable.
Many times. It's gotta only be concerning
inevitable.
once most of playoffs is French as well. For now, we have at least Team2Easy and Witness Gaming defending this reality from coming true. Even if Flick is trying his hardest to get there.
Well, as it stands, we don't have to worry about that just yet. There's still 4 weeks left after this. This is only week 3, and the map has started. People want to actually play Sunshine, and we're going to be looking at our first little mid-fight here. Yak's going to get a nice little sticky early onto Elicor, but that's all there is for now, as Venomcrest just rotate around the far side here. Very quickly, Scar going in for a high bomb, but just gets kind of peppered by scouts, gets some damage onto the medic, and there you go, there's the collapse. All of a sudden, everybody on Venomcrest is dead. It's only Juno left, and, well, you're a single scout. If you can somehow sneak past, nah, it's not going to happen. Patchouli is going to be defended by Amarok and Elicor here. That was a very quick collapse. Suddenly, everybody instantly died.
Okay, what if they're just the best map 2 team of all time?
Yeah, I feel like that's what we're getting to here, man. That's actually the strategy. Okay, so pick your bad maps against this team all as map 1, because like they're gonna suck, and then pick whatever map you desperately want to play against them.
That is a brave strategy. It's sick once you get to playoffs. I think it doesn't help getting into playoffs, however, to lose map 1 every time.
I don't know, we'll have to see, right? 2038, they got a lot of stuff to go through. They haven't played most of the hard teams just yet, so...
What, you're saying Duplo isn't the best team this season? How dare you?
I mean, they certainly put up a good fight. Anyway, there's the last push coming on, and they're trying their best to get in here. They managed to get the sentry early. They lose Slash and Elicor, though, and that's gonna turn the tide here a little bit. Scar's gonna get caught as well. They just barely managed to have both scouts escape with Patchouli. And Poi, in the meantime, hangs on to the charge, gets the Uber going now, even though nobody there to heal, but that doesn't matter. They're going to be able to take second for free, and probably keep this rolling forward pretty easily as well. I mean, they're going to try to maybe throw some curveball here on 2038, but the best they can do is just spam a little bit, try to get an early pop-out maybe. There's a bomb by Slash, that's certainly going to manage to do that. There you go, there's the force out of Venomcrest. They're going to just try to rotate around as deep as they can, perhaps? No, okay, they're going to go and just clean up mid, see whatever they can do, and Slash is gonna get cleaned up.
Everyone's
dying.
So,
yeah, Slash overextends, gets cleaned up. There you go.
Yeah, Scar couldn't get out in time either, and that's just slowly but surely falling apart. This is also where the next storyline we forgot about from the last few weeks for 2038 is coming to play. Namely, the last pushes were kind of not good. Difference is, this time around, they didn't get any in the first map at all. And if the trade as well, that I feel like just does not have right now. Even the slightest, that is giving up this point, and BNC is moving along quite nicely. This was them almost about to do this round, and now, I mean, they don't have to do that, but they certainly got them on the ropes now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need the Uber ad, because there's nothing 2038 can do. They can only set up for the last hold, and they're taking their sweet time as well, never finally going to build that sentry with the engineer, and then obviously got Amarok on the pyro as well, just trying to buy some time here, you know, air blast people away and all that stuff. But BNC is going to get their Uber. The sentry is just finally going to be level 3 by the time they try to push in, but it's not going to be in position, and well, if they're fast enough, they can certainly try and get some good ground here, and their last pushes have been decisive so far. They've only botched them once, and every other one has been very, very eloquently done, so I don't know if they're going to just try to send it. It looks like they're just going to try to bait the soldiers to spam the sentry a little bit here, maybe, or just get some angle, try to get some damage in. You know, they actually just managed to find Scar on the other side. Yak's going to clean up that kill. So again, just another French player feeding. I feel like we've seen that a lot tonight. it's not been working well for them. Okay, they find Term. He's overextended. That's basically a trade out, and Slash slips through, or at least tries to slip through dungeon, realizes there's a scout watching him, has to back out again. Okay. So they can't even try to like make anything happen going out here. The French just have to sit on last and pray to God that Venomcrest somehow botched the last push.
Ooh, both teams on Spy. Who's going to spy check better than the other? The question. Trumps, this guy's the Spy right now, so you'd think he knows better than sticking with it. And it looks like that's exactly what's happening as well. Oh, nope, never mind. We're going for the double fake. It goes back to Soldier. Hopes that they check for long enough that they see him back on Soldier. And then goes back on Spy, and then back on again. They don't know what they want, but we're getting somewhere at the end. I thought they were double faking out, but nope, we're triple faking out. We're going Spy, Soldier, but with Conch now. So
I was saying the Frenchies are thinking 20 moves into the future. Clearly Yak is thinking 30 moves into the future at this point. There's some crazy strats going on here, and I mean, they're clearly banking a lot on this Conch working, right? They've realized it's a bit of a stalemate. They're not really going to be able to get in for free.
Bombs working. KN just hits his head the second he tries to take lift off. Bit of an unfortunate one. Survived somehow. That's the impressive part, actually.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's going to certainly allow them to actually try and build this, because I feel like they're really just banking on that Conch working. Maybe just want to use the speed to, like, you know, close some ground here, because there's no way that you can really use it after the fight. I mean, you're going to be in a rough position. Yeah. You can try to heal back up if you lose your meds.
It helps you like tank a little bit of damage getting in there, but once the fight's already a midway through, like it does very little. I don't know, we've not seen like a huge impact for Conch, to be honest. I'm still curious to find out what the actual plan is of this, because it's just kind of been like there at the end
of
the
fight. I feel like it's genuinely just like it's just a tiny speed boost. Like it's a bit of an AoE speed boost when you try to get in, or like, you know, try to grab some ground. Maybe you know, if your fights immediately sucks, you can get out a little bit easier without dropping everybody. And I mean, Nevo going down is certainly going to allow them to spam the sentry a bit easier, perhaps. And, well, Term is trying to get into position now. They're immediately going to deny him from that ground. They just got to keep that sentry alive. That sentry's their lifeline right now. They've lost the dispenser already. There goes the sentry. The Uber is actually just in by Venomcrest in the meantime. And, well, that's all they found. They found the engineer's buildings, and that's it. Nevo's just switched to heavy and is now peppering them with the Tomislav across the point here. Scar gets taken down, but traded out for Juno. And it's just more of the same. they're just going to be looking at another stalemate here, probably.
But you
Actually,
just wait for the post work.
Ellicor just walks forward and dies. He just feeds. He just feeds into Yak.
As well.
Oh boy, okay, the post uber conch, but Patchouli still hasn't used, so worst case they can hold it with that. Ideally they wouldn't want to. Nice little air shot there onto Slash is going to deny him from taking any more ground, and well, Patchouli just died. He just dropped.
Speed boosted Scout, I guess. Just got in a tiny bit faster.
Yeah.
I can't say it didn't matter. I don't know how much it really changed there, because Scouts just runs past everyone anyway. But High gets in there, gets past everyone, while everyone's just kind of sitting back and just spamming away. And lots of spam with one Scout in your face just makes the difference in the end. Good stuff by High and Gang to get this going. And I think, if anything, right, I feel like Conch is just a mental thing in these situations. I think it just makes them want to commit more than they otherwise do in these sort of situations. And they have the Conch ready, they don't want to waste it, they're going all in, and it's working out just fine.
There was like no shot that they should have like won that last push that easy, especially with the Uber on the side of the French team. So just hitting each other in the mid here, just kissing in the mid-air. That was beautiful to watch. Anyway, as the mid goes underway, Slash traded out for Yak. Certainly a decent trade off the bat, and there goes Turum as well. So far so good for the French team here. They managed to keep everybody else alive, and Venomcrest can't quite prod their way in to get anybody else, you know, just get anybody else caught out. So a 1 mid for the French team. The first one in the entire series so far. Maybe this is the turning point. Surely, if you're a French fan here, you're huffing the copium, you're getting anything you can. You managed to pick up Nuthouse as well, so you might even have a bit more of an opening here. Well, you certainly get some players in, but you're also eating so much damage. Ellicor just caught out again by Juno this time, and everybody else has to leave. Slash is in behind, and well, unless they're aware of him, he could certainly be a bit of a nuisance, pose a bit of a threat here, as the rest of the team making their way forward already on Venomcrest. Okay, he does get found. Ken was looking for him. There's the spawn by High as well, and he's just gonna help take that guy down. Nice little mid-air there as well. 4KN, and yeah, they're just gonna keep rolling forward here, Venomcrest. There's little opposing them now. The French players just scattered, just trying to see if they can somehow get something going. Like every player trying to go for their own play, but none of them are hitting shots. There goes Ellicor, there goes Nevo as well. And the rest of them are just running away. Patchouli has to use or he will die. Oh, it's all crumbling. It's all falling apart.
I feel like the Frenchies are their worst enemies in this situation as well. Everyone looked like they thought it was the perfect time to go in for 1 kill exactly and then leave, but no one actually was in a position to get a single kill out of this one. Everyone just slowly overextended. They lost like 3 in a row there, trying to just sneak away 1 kill after the other. And on the side of Venomcrest, they're just playing as a unit all together, just letting them run into them and just pick them all up one by one. Getting this midpoint, no problem. And still have an Uber to spare as well. Toy only now might have a reason to use. And they want to get things going with this as well. Yeah, going deep with this one. Immediately gets the medic. Sticky pipe right away. It's just a matter of how much that's going to get with this and how much easier does this make the last push.
Oh, well, I guess easy enough. They got Scar as well. Ellicor might get caught here. KN is going to clean up that kill pretty easily. And Slash got caught as well. It's only Nevo and Amarok. And, well, Nevo finds 1 kill. Oh, my lord. Okay, well, Amarok gets a nice little shot onto point, but that's not going to be enough to save the point against the 4 other players, because Nevo is left alone to his devices. And, well, he had like 12 health, so yeah, that's going to be a foregone conclusion. That's going to be a second round for Venomcrest, and they're on control. They're just in control. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, this is the Frenchies just playing themselves at this point here, and they need to figure out how they can stop losing to themselves before they can even start worrying about winning this game again now with a 2-0 deficit, though. That's a big worry in their minds as well, and that's going to just be clouding every decision now as well, getting the quick comeback here sooner or later.
I feel like after this, November 1st might just be named like a national day of mourning in France. And like, it's gonna become like a national holiday if it isn't already, or if it is, it's gonna be renamed, because it's not looking great for them. They're losing another mid kind of. They found a kill onto Yak, but they got almost no positions. They're already being bullied out. High gets killed there, but they find a kill onto Ellicor yet again. Ellicor has been dying so much. He's not been able to get anything done so far. These scouts just trying their best to keep Patchouli alive, get him out of there, but Tyram is on the flank already. He's behind, gets 1 rocket, gets 2, gets the cleanup as well. He gets cleaned up, but it doesn't even matter at this point, because Nevo's dead. Amarok manages to narrowly escape, but he won't be able to flank around Cafe here. They already know he's coming. They already staring him down. He's just gonna get denied. And yeah, there you go. He doesn't get away with it either. Oh. I don't know, man.
It's a rough one for the Frenchies. I mean, that's really the key takeaway right now. How do they turn this around? How do they stop being in their own head so much at this point? Slash tries to stay in, but toward the end, just can't even get a bump in started. Just getting bumped by Yak instead. And the fact the last it is, it's about to be 3-0, and I feel like once we're reaching that point, there's no comeback anymore.
This is like a career-ending game, man. It's all falling apart. Frenchie's trying their absolute best to try and hold here. I mean, he lost Slash early. He's gonna finally respawn. He's gonna be there for the fight. And boy, he gets taken down, so no heals for Venomcrest. This could certainly be a good hold for the Frenchies here. If they can keep Patchouli alive, if they can make sure to get these last few players cleaned up. KN hitting some nice rockets, but he does get killed, and nobody else has to die. Lost Eloquor and Scar, and that's gonna be all they lose. High trying to cap in the forwards there, and actually manages to get the kill out to Slash. Oh, no. Okay, he gets cleaned up. They come back for him. They don't let him get away with it for free. And Yak is extended here as well. He should certainly die, and Nevo does hit those shots. He does clean that up, while the rest of Venomcrest come in to try and back up their already dead demo, just seeing what they can do now. And, well, they're actually contending second quite well, but they're gonna have to give it up eventually as the French pressure just gets too strong. Tyram, if he's not careful, could even get caught, and he doesn't quite. Okay. Stabilization for French team so far. Like, they stabilized at least a little bit.
You know, I just remembered when I made my rankings this season, I think I put 2038 kind of low. So them losing is actually in my best interest, I just realized. So let's go Venomcrest.
Yeah, but where'd you put Venomcrest? That's the problem. Did you put them above him?
I think so,
okay.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. Your predictions are perfectly right then. Let's see if they can keep up with the losing streak so far. They find a kill onto KN here, then Slash is still far forward, manages to escape though. They're gonna be able to potentially get mid off of this. I mean, they lost Eloquor, but they traded him out for 2 other players on the other side, so it's a bit better for Frenchies, if only there wasn't that Uber that they had to contend with. That comes out of Venomcrest, but they're not really gonna find much with it. I mean, Scar might get caught, and they find Slash and trade him out for Tyram on the other side, but
I'm losing to 1v1 as well.
That's it.
Never, sorry.
That's it. That's it for now, right? Yeah, okay, so they didn't get mid, but surely 2038 are gonna be in a better position here, right?
I don't know, you gotta wait a long time to have both spawns up again as well. In the meantime, they're just kicking Fortress Can getting in here, and I'm sure he's not the only one. Yeah, there's Yak coming in as well. Hit some nice pipes already here. Double pipe onto Amber before the Saw takes him out. Surely has now, but gotta actually find anything to kill with that, and there's no one left. There's just KN somewhere behind them, already gotten another kill out of this one, so even if he goes down, it's a 2-4-2 trade, while they effectively just force the easiest Uber off their lives.
Yeah, like Patchouli just basically trying like to keep everybody alive that he still can, flashing like a madman, keeping everybody Ubered up there, but you know, it saves his team, but now they're down 50% again, and Venomcrest, well, they wanna use that. Again, they're up 2 rounds already, there's about half the map left, so it still could be anybody's game if 2038 finally decide to actually play. Like actually, you know, make some plays that work. Now they're gonna have to contend with another Uber, and it's a bit of a meek one for Venomcrest, because kind of expected out of 2038 that, you know, they're just passive, they're just gonna use that Uber and
okay, but like,
sure,
you know the Uber's coming, right? You have fallback early, it doesn't do much of anything. What now? You've got this far, you didn't die to this at all, it kind of just didn't do anything other than getting the point, but the fact that you got the point is kind of the key problem right now. You have to push our last yourself now, and that can be pretty difficult.
Yeah, they do use it, they do use through.
It's incredibly difficult, they're pushing in and lose too.
And there's actually a backup as well, high on last, that just caps it by himself. Eloquor tries to come back, but can't hit any of the pipes. Oh my god, it's a disaster on every account. Every account. Like, they managed to get the Uber in deep, they managed to get a couple of kills with it as well. Eat a bit of damage before doing it, sure, you milked it, but your flank is just completely mulched on the other side. Just taken down, and, well, 1 scout running through is all it takes. This Finnish scout duo, man. They're showing up. They're showing up. It's terrifying, and they're showing up. They've managed to trade out Slash early for Yak here. Surely this is what they need. They've won the past couple of mids, these French players. They can try to make it happen. They get to him as well. And that's good enough for Venomcrest to be like, I'm a head out. They're gone. They're not having it. They're like, all right, we lost 2 players early. It's a meek mid. We're just gonna make the most of it and try to hold second, maybe a bit aggressively, have somebody being a bit sneaky. But it's their opportunity here for 2038 to finally make a bit of a comeback, find their way back into this. They had a last push attempt already. They just have to actually convert it, and well, it's the thing they traditionally struggle with the most. So I don't know how well it's gonna work. Tyram's on the spy as well. Completely unbothered, unspotted. It's just gonna get it back up onto Nevo. The Uber comes out of the French team to try and respond to the Venomcrest Uber. It is a bit better for the Frenchies, just ever so slightly, but they flashed a bit more to try and keep everybody alive, and now it's just a messy fight to the end here, but players-wise, it is better for the French team, and that is going to be enough. Boy gets caught as well, does he? No, he actually doesn't.
There's no surf.
There's no surf there. Dies to fall damage, yep. Alright, but crucially, the points doesn't cap. Somehow, Venomcrest just hold that for so long. By so much time. And every second they tick off of 2038's timer here is crucial. I mean, 3 rounds is a big difference to make up. And they're already recapping it. They're already back. They managed to just bully out a couple of players, kill Amarok. Never mind the back cap by Nevo. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter, because they lived long enough.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you just die a hero, you know?
That's all it took. Poi keeping his team in, and there you go. Still, Venomcrest, they can't lose. They just can't physically lose right now. They are incapable of losing.
Just suffering from success, yeah, that's pretty much it.
They could have everything thrown at you, and there's gonna be a miracle play by one player that just somehow still keeps it alive. The mental must be shot. I can't even imagine, man, for 2038 here. Again, they're trying to just get in. They have to deal with turn behind. I don't know why he's on the enemy last. Why is he so far back? Nobody knows. He's just kind of being a nuisance. I don't even know, man. He slipped past at some point.
He's just having a time of his life.
It's incredible.
Okay, well, here's the problem with that, though, right? There's only 5 in front of a full Uber advantage coming up in 2 seconds right now, so kind of not a whole lot they can do until Tram tries to be, like, the hero himself right now, but I think he is, in fact, now living long enough to see himself become the villain, because they really need this guy to actually make a play right now.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if they can actually make this last push happen. Because traditionally, they haven't been able to. They get a lot of Captain when they get a kill onto KN. There's the Uber out of Venomcrest. They just have to kite this somehow. They get a little bit more Captain as well. Scar almost managing to finish off that point, just barely. Venomcrest players manage to step on. There's Elicor with some damn sure push these players off. Gets a kill onto Poi. Manages to finish it off. And there you go. They put a round on the board.
Too lower. Like, who just walks in there like it's no one's business.
Yeah, nobody contends him. Everybody on Venomcrest kind of too focused on DM, trying to get logs, and they put a damn round on the board. Things are happening. The French team, they can actually, like, convert. That's incredible. I didn't know that was possible. Let's see if they can keep this up. Let's see if that is all they need. That's the pick-me-up. There's screaming happening. They're excited. Both just going high, trying to land on something. They get a nice little rocket there onto Juno, but Elicor gets hurt on the other side. There goes Yak as well. There goes Patchouli, no heals for the French team, but they find Hoi, they trade out Nevo, they find Amarok as well. It's only Slash left alive for 2038, and he's fighting a losing battle against KN here. Yep, gets cleaned up as well, so a 1 mid for Venomcrest, and they even kept Poi alive.
That's unfortunate. One guy was on Poi's case already and just could do it too weak. One arrow gets the kill. Poi's been fragging pretty much. Why is Tram on spawn? Wait a second. You can't just do that to me mid-sentence, Tram. That's not okay.
Yeah, well, turns out it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. He's he's just gone. He's dead, and somehow they're gonna have to try to find a way back into this. They lose Scar as well, just a bit of a feat there. Well, you know, it's Venomcrest's game to lose at this point. They have a full Uber. They're trying to push last. They're down to players still, but that might not even matter because they know he's going to spawn before Scar does. They might just be able to push it in aggressively, work with the respawners, or wait for him. Either way, they have the Uber to work with. They're taking it slow. They know they can take it slow. They have no reason to really go aggressively.
Well, that doesn't matter. They want to go fast because the other option is boring as hell. They want to win. They don't want to sit here. Maybe they should be still sitting there.
Yeah, maybe they should have.
Why? Where's everyone going? What? They just left now.
Huh?
They just walked away from the fight.
They just did what Venomcrest did last point. They just started chasing players out. They were like, oh yeah, we're winning the last. We're just chasing players out, and then one player, in this case Juno, just slips on past, just stands on the point, and nobody turns around in time.
That's that point right now as well. They have as good as in the back. They need one more to win the map, to win the match in the full 6-point sweep for the league tables.
Well, let's see if they actually want to close it out, or if somehow 2038 find their way back into this. I mean, it's an uphill battle. This is almost as much of an uphill battle as it could be, and, well, they're winning the mid so far. They get Term, they get Juno, and they're going to be aggressive as well. This is French aggression, dude. They might be playing on tilt, but they're certainly hitting their shots right now. Just keeping these players pressured. Yak is still in. He's still alive. He's going to jump up. Does he get anything done with it, though? No, he just dies. They find Slash on the other side, but that's all they really settle for. Never mind, they get Scar as well. Okay. The soldiers extended for a very long time. Doing a lot, but also feeding their lives away. Well, it's a 1 mid for 2038, and they get second off the bat of it as well, so... It's not looking horrible.
They put a mount in front of them, but by God, they're trying to climb it still.
They're trying their absolute damnedest here. I mean, imagine the trash talk out of the French team if they actually manage to somehow bring this back.
You know what the worst part about this would be? This wouldn't be the first time I've seen Yak lose this as well. This happened before, like comeback, like.
Oh no!
Literally precedented as well. So we know it could happen, but oh god.
Surely not. Surely he's learned. Surely he's learned from his mistakes, right? There's a little bit of a skip there by Scar. Slashes in as well. They're trying to make something happen. I mean, there's no sentries to contend with, so it could get some damage down. Well, okay, I say there's no sentries. It's just in a weird position, but neither of them really get anything. Scar at least manages to escape, but they fed a player. Now they're going to contend with a counter-sack. Juno's just going to clean up Nevo as well, so Venomcrest have free reigns. Basically just walk in. Juno just walks in. Nobody even knows he's there. Amarok, thankfully, wins that 1v1. Hits a couple good meat shots, but if it wasn't for him there, that could have been a disaster already for the Frenchies. So they hang on by just one player being very observant and knowing where to look, I guess.
But time is of the essence right now. It's running out a lot faster than it would like. And they're sitting in a full setup right now as well, so it's just getting worse and worse by the second here as well. Having the sniper up sounds nice, works for now as well, but could get more going than this even as much as it helps.
Juno immediately switching to the counter sniper as well as soon as the first shot goes off. Oh my god! Oh, he just gets the beautiful angle, but surely you should have expected that, my man. Oh no, well, that's a bra moment, because, I mean, yeah, there's the Uber out of Venomcrest. They're just getting out into second here. Maybe a bit of a backup attempt. Both French soldiers in behind here, but they can't really get to the point. They can't get the kill onto Poi. That's something they can settle for. Slash is gonna get cleaned up here. Scar is gonna get out for the time being. They find a kill onto High as well. So still, they hang on, actually. 2038 hang on to second. They find the kill onto Poi. So after all of this, they're actually gonna have an ad.
I mean, it's something, but it's also a huge waste of time, all of what just happened.
Yeah,
that's kind of a big problem right now. It's getting them into a good position, but look at the timer. That's always the key factor right now. That's just the key resource they're running out of right now. It's a massive fight lobby even, but the sniper's hanging on. Never can defend himself. Has some backup there in the end, but running out of players, running out of Uber at some point sooner or later here as well. Patchouli almost has, and they're trying to get in it already.
I mean, you gotta pick up 3 rounds in the next 6 minutes. That's 2 minutes a round. You gotta do it. Scar gets taken down, so that's gonna slow you down. Never gets picked up as well. Players. This soldier aggression by Venomcrest here. Oh my god. They just get dropped out of the Uber before it ever comes out. It's so bad for the French team. They don't find anything with it either, trying to chase. Nobody gets taken up. Finally, they find a kill onto Yak, but they trade out Slash for it as well. And, well,
where's Aleko going?
Now Patchouli's caught. He's alone.
Okay, no, someone's watching it. It's fine. Crisis averted. Kane had eyes on that. And nothing much is gonna happen. Wait, he's just leaving him. I mean, I guess he can't back him anymore. Ram spawning, so it's fine, but he's still there. He's still there.
He's still alive, too. Okay, finally he dies. And they managed to get second back as well. This is a back and forth, but, man, the timer is ticking down. It's not happening, man. Like, if you were 2038 here and you want to take home any points, you gotta not only turn this around and stop playing worse, but like play so much better that it's an absolute dominant performance.
I think 2038 just wants to stop playing, period.
5 minutes. Yeah, it's not happening. I think they just want to forfeit. They're waving the white flag. As much, you know, haha, French joke. They're just done with it. Yak just another beautiful kill onto Patchouli yet again. He's got that guy's number right now. That's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen him do that this match.
I just out 1v1 wins at the M fight with Amber. Or the health pack that Amber takes as well. Just out DMs them 1.5 times as well, and it's just curtains from here.
And they're gonna just rolls into last, and this should be it. There's nobody even contending for 2048, but truly trying to pyro off class. It's not happening. There you go. GGs are being called. Not much trash talk at all. French team, if they don't disband after this,
then I respect their mental if they keep going, to be honest.
Yeah,
I've seen people die to much less.
Yes.
And I really want to see the French game, you know? That's what I'm here for. That's my motivation on these two teams. I want to see them play against each other. We need that.
That was a completely different story. I mean, in the power rankings, this puts Venomcrest way above Duplo as well. In that case,
this is doing numbers for them right now. They're back on 9 points now, starting off the week. Before anyone else plays, there's obviously 3 more games to come this week at some point throughout. But it's gonna be doing good on them. This is for now. This is 3rd place. No one has played yet, however. So Obviously, doesn't mean a whole lot just yet, but it's sure gonna be helping a little bit along the way here to keep up with everyone else.
I pray for them they stand together. I pray for them they don't let this get to them, but man, that's a rough game to lose. That's just
you can't let Yak DM and then win as well. That's like #1 mistake to make in life, I feel like.
You can't give this guy any fuel. You know? Yeah. I feel like you're just fueling the flames. It's like throwing a damn gasoline can into the bonfire right now, and he's gonna ride that high all week. I think Yak's gonna ride that high all week.
This is a good shot. Still a tough season ahead of them, of course, right? They already went through League of Shadows, I think it was. But I saw a couple of heavy hitters left for them as well. And it's going to get more difficult from here, I think. Witness and TF2 Easy back-to-back, V5 and 6. There's still some tough competition waiting to happen, let alone anyone else in between that as well, with Duplo and CSG at some point as well. It's going to be a race to the finish for everyone to make playoffs. Same can be said for the franchise whose chances are pretty bad right now, but if they just win all the head-to-heads with everyone else in the lower seedings there, then they might still have a fighting chance. It's not going to be easy at all, but has it ever been, you know?
Has it ever been easy? I mean, yeah, like for Venomcrest, they're gonna probably struggle, at least you would expect, against Witness and TF2 Easy, right? But then the CSG game is a complete toss-up, because CSG, we haven't seen the fullest of them yet, because they're a bit of a wild card right now, and they've had the 2 roughest matches so far, right?
It's really hard to judge them, and I mean, they did do pretty decent against one of them at least.
Yeah, they did decently against TF2 Easy, which could spell something for the rest of their season. So, but for now, we don't have any precedent, right? We can't really call how their season is going to go. So that matchup could be a toss-up. Duplo, I mean, if we're ranking 2038, tying against Duplo, that means that Venomcrest should easily roll them as well. But things can always change along the weeks.
We've talked about air scouts, but it's just more Nordic scouts in that match as well, waiting on the other side. So who's to say that Sweden doesn't have a say in that against the Finnish powerful scout duo here as well? Yeah, it's going to be a rough one here, with whatever you spin in. We have 3 more games this week. I think the easy one to call, at least, is Witness against Duplo, right? If Witness somehow loses anything there, I'd be highly shocked. The other 2 are a little bit more interesting there. Tomorrow, we have TF2 Easy against the League of Shadows. That's a banger. Interesting as well. Yeah,
that's gonna be a banger match.
Like a win for TF2 Easy lets them get second again. If they lose that one, they might just have to settle with third for the rest of the season, because they already dropped 3 points and they can't make up for that if they don't win this one. So they really, really actually need this win here in the head-to-head.
I don't know if they drop any points here, it could actually be tough for them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They really need all 6 points there if they want to get the second seed. And second seed is powerful. Second seed is upper bracket immediately. You want to be in winners into playoffs here, and you need second place for that minimum. So there's a lot on line now. We're getting second even, which I think is pretty interesting for how things shape up in the regular season as well. And League of Shadows, I mean, they had close maps, but they probably will be tested the most out of any match coming up now as well. And then, waiting as well on Sunday, I believe it is, we have 4 fans against CSG. 2 teams that we've seen a little bit, but like you said, it's really kind of hard to make a call of it, right? We didn't actually see the map that 4 fans got the upset on with TF2 Easy on Process in the Golden Cap. We've seen them have a close fight with VNC before. So we kind of know what they're up to, but it's just been kind of close with everyone, but still not really coming out on top all too much. They come out on top on that one. They're sitting so pretty for playoffs, actually. This would be a huge win.
Yeah,
to just get 6 points from.
I feel like now that we're a couple of weeks in, right? We're in the 3rd week now. These blurry lines about like, oh, this is going to be a very competitive season. I think they're starting to become a little bit more solid, a little bit more filled in. You're starting to see ever so slightly how the teams are differentiating themselves now. I mean, it could just very well be that 2038 had a horrible evening. Maybe, some players genuinely just had something going on. Who knows, right? Maybe they're not going to fold. Maybe they're going to be back with an incredible fight next week. And then our entire power rank talking is going to be completely out the window, right? But, yeah, I mean, we're seeing it separate a little bit right now, right? Like, we see 2038 kind of dropping in the rankings a bit and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a massive season, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure, and the good games just keep coming. Like I said, tomorrow we have TF2 Easy against League of Shadows. You want to catch that one for sure, make sure you follow for that. So you don't forget to tune in tomorrow, same time as always, 21 CET, same time as today. And that should be an exciting one. We'll catch you then.
See ya.